The following game has been rated T for teen by the ESRB for fantasy violence, mild language, and drug references. That means anyone under the age of 13 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier, and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Starpoint Gemini Warlords. A warlord isn't just a lord of war. They are usually a despot, usually in charge of a small amount of territory, usually in contention with an organized government. You could argue that, yes. So the premise of the Starpoint Gemini series is that you are a starship captain in a system of colonized space known as Gemini. Now, back before the game's storyline began in the history of the game, the system of Gemini was founded by a empire based on Earth, apparently. And the people of Gemini decided they didn't want to be ruled by the Terran Empire, so they rebelled, and war broke out, and reality-bending weapons were used, creating all manner of spatial anomalies and severing the Gemini system off from the rest of the, civilized space. This is relevant to the game in two ways. One, by providing backstory to the actual game, and two, because in Starpoint Gemini Warlords, you play as a member of the former Terran Empire, because apparently in the second game, Gemini reconnected to the rest of the civilized space. The Terran Empire fell to some sort of alien species. I didn't get that far in that game, so I don't actually know what happened. And a remnant of them fled back to Gemini before, I believe, whatever gateway they were using to reconnect to everywhere else was reclosed again. And you play as a member of that former faction of the Terran Empire. One key point that makes Warlords different from any other game in the series is that in addition to piloting a starship, you are also in charge of a starbase with a built-in shipyard capable of building AI-controlled vessels, which allow you to form fleets, and it basically has a real-time strategy element in regards to the game that the others don't have. So on that note, this game is of course made by Thank you again. That being said, let us begin. Alright, so this is us. This is... Oh, nope. I really hope I'm out of range. So that's Concordia, that's our space station, the thing I almost shot. All these ships are members of our fleet. Anything with this symbol is what's known as a War Master, which is a special NPC character. They basically have their own leveling schematics and will actually upgrade their ships. So Leonard Maxton here, once he gets to high enough level, will trade in his battleship for something bigger. Same with Nika here and Tara Higgs. I think those are the only three War Masters that I have. The rest of the fleet, if we bring up the map, consists of, right now, the 3 War Masters, 2 extra battleships, a destroyer, and a frigate. I'm also able to build more ships. So we'll just pop in a new battleship, just for fun and profit. So, if you haven't seen last episode, we were palling around in a destroyer, and we were doing various things. Look, the Corvette, that's well almost dead. Because we're fighting a bunch of pirates that attacked our facilities and stole some of our stuff. Do you mind trying to explain what we're doing? Anyway, as the storyline progresses, we're required to get a larger and larger ship, and we finished everything that we needed to do for Destroyer last time, and so I need to upgrade to a cruiser. The problem is, if we just sneak into here, look at the shipyard, the one cruiser that we can buy costs 9 million, and I don't technically have that. It's available for purchase because I'm allowed to trade in my existing destroyer, which, if I sell the destroyer and everything on it, I would actually have enough to buy the Zodiac. Because all my special shiny guns are on the destroyer. So I can't actually technically afford a new cruiser at this time. So my original plan was, between last episode and now, to play off camera and get enough funds to actually buy the cruiser. I got distracted, never got around to doing that. So we could go about getting enough funds to build a cruiser, to buy a cruiser, or we can travel around the known map, finding enemy cruisers and trying to take them through boarding action. On top of that, for reasons in the storyline not fully shared with me at this time, right before the Destroyer chapter ended, it was mentioned that the planet of Pharos, where our faction's government is actually located, has been blockaded by enemy forces. I don't know if it's unknown enemy forces or just an unknown number of enemy forces, but they're blockaded, and nothing can go in or out, no transmissions, no ships, no people, and because of that, well, originally, back when I first got access to the RTS elements of this game, my original plan was to cut a bloody swath north, or at least passes from north on this map, to the Orfel Foundry and basically take this facility and then this facility and probably these other facilities here. However, I underestimated the exact strength of the enemy forces and we got our butts kicked. And then, the next chapter after that, we were told we couldn't go assaulting the pirates because it would make our faction look bad. However, the guys in charge can't send a message to tell us no. So I'm thinking we cut a bloody swath north, taking territory. Who's it? Oh, by the way, you guys don't get a vote. Because I'm a warlord and warlords don't run democracies. Next question. And make it a fun one. That wasn't a question. Anyway, so that's what I plan on doing. So every facility fleet that you can attack has what's known as a fleet power rating. This gives a general understanding of how strong that facility is. So for instance, the Nirax shipyard station has an approximate fleet power of 18,570, whereas the Honor Armada, which is everybody excluding us, has a fleet power of 16,038. Technically, it's not a hard, fast rule that something that has a greater power level will always defeat something with less power level. I mean, I do have 5 battleships, a destroyer and 2 frigates, which I don't think the space station actually fields, although they do have a whole bunch of defensive platforms. Whereas this fleet only has a fleet power of 1280. That's that mining operation. This processing station has a fleet power of 14 1,358. This forward outpost has an approximate fleet power of 1,000. The Battle Dawn military station has a fleet power of over 20,000. I probably shouldn't hit that anytime soon. And then this space over here, because this is another region owned by the same pirates, I haven't explored, so I don't quite know what's there. But I could always use a new starport, shipyard, I should say. Apparently we can talk to their ambassador. And apparently they don't like us. Oh, by the way, this is us. But I only want to talk, say where you want, and be quick about it. Let us end our pointless rivalries before more blood is spilled. Negotiate peace. I'd like to discuss a trade deal, or actually, we'll talk some other time because I accidentally clicked that. We'll go that, and then he said it calls us an idiot, and we move on. So
initiating sublight.
Off we go.
Roger that.
You know what? Let's hit this fleet because they seem to be, well, right behind us. Alright, well, they're dead. That was easy, but then again, it had small fleet power. And that's what I mean. The greater the fleet power, generally, the greater number of ships, and the stronger they actually are. So, the starboard shield has taken a hit. I would say it would hopefully finish recharging by the time we get to where we need to go. But that's where we need to go. So. It's at 3/4 power.
All hands target eliminated. You're flying too close to the sun, Barak.
One thing I don't like about the kill cam that locks us into our targeted opponent is I can't always see which direction my ship is actually facing. So half the time I think I'm actually flying towards it when in fact I'm not. And we're actually taking damage.
Defense shield initiated. Port shield is at half capacity. Port shield down to 25% captain. Front shield is at 50%.
And we're actually dead. Well, that didn't go too well. So we get for not paying attention to the health bar. Alright, let's try that again.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Oh, so this little sparkly thing you see here is most likely an anomaly.
I, fire at will command executed.
Alright, so we're coming up upon the objective again. Hopefully try number 2 will be better. You're dead. Probably did not need to fire off the missiles, but oh well. Really, that's our closest target? I guess it would help if we turned around.
You're flying too close to the sun, Barak. Enemy stationary object.
Sure likes to gamble, eh?
I think I needed the heavy weapons for that.
Is attacking us. If I I die, I'll
I
take
mean,
you.
a heavy weapon for that one. Oh look, a cruiser. So we'll try our boarding action. We're also going to cloak. I don't think we're going to get this one because there's a lot of things in between where I need to go and where. Okay, so military fleets have started fighting over this thing. That's part of the reason why I want to take all this stuff. Just simply because... What's the word I want to use? Oh, they'll stop attacking. Yeah, I'm going to have like, well, 9 Marines left to take the bridge. 4% chance, not
Port
expecting.
shield is at half capacity.
Troops have failed, of
Port
course.
shield down to 20%.
Oh, look, it's a
capacity.
dreadnought. Goody.
You've come to the wrong neighborhood, Mara. Defense shield initiated.
Prepare for abandoning ship. Kill the engine and kill the
Boy fighters, because I keep forgetting. And kill the dreadnought.
Shields restored, Captain.
That may have been one of mine. It just exploded. Dreadnoughts have a tendency to do that. I'm actually flying away from it.
I think your ship is board.
Oh, he's dead.
Target eliminated.
Now, about that cruiser. Out of range. Okay. Alright, so what's left are the various platforms. What's the point of the shield generators so we can shoot through them? Man, probably should heal. Repair the vessel, I should say. There's actually a gunship left.
Today, I have
Interesting.
demonstrated.
And a corvette. It was a corvette. As we bounce into the thing we're trying to take. Okay, did you kill that thing? Apparently we did. What's this? Oh, that's just... Of course they are. What am I shooting at? Ah, platform's dead. This is that platform. Going on.
Front shield is at 50%.
Who's left? Just this thing.
Shields are back
Can
online.
we not shoot through the facility, please?
25%, Captain. Shield is at 25%, Captain. Progress is complete on the plating.
Cloak the ship while we repair.
Engaging cloak. Defense shield initiated.
And fire off a bomb. And we win. We go up a level, as does Leonard Maxon, Nika, And just those two. Why do I have a feeling Terra got killed? Yep. Yeah, Terra got taken out, and I also lost the frigates. So I got 1 destroyer, 2 battleships, Maxton and Nico. Build ships. Rebuild Terra's battleship. Pop on an extra battleship. And let's head over this way.
Engage sublight.
Just simply because it's under attack. Also, we gain a skill point. Not useful right now because everything requires at least 3. Oh yeah. Gotta recall the fighters.
Initiating sublight.
That could have gone badly. Alright, send a civilian fleet to that. Buy more materials in exchange for gas. Get whatever this is. And that's all my civilian fleets. Plus side, we do have an extra battleship now. So now the question becomes, can we actually get here in about a minute and a half? And just as it's about to fall, guess who arrives? You guys are supposed to guess.
Engaging sublight.
What do you mean that guy from the Plumber movies? No, we arrive. Then we just start opening fire and get slaughtering.
We're dangerously close to dying.
And we win.
Aligning ship to plane.
Okay, so I mean, we could hit here next because it's technically the next closest. It's also the strongest station that the Revenants have. It's also, if we take it, also add 2,000 to our maximum command power. So we can only field so many ships, and that's the number is dictated by our command points, as well as our super capital ship total. So if you notice, well, of course, the super capital ships are battleships, dreadnoughts, and carriers, because and that doesn't count war masters. So since I'm popping out battleship after battleship after battleship, that number is increasing. So this, I believe, will actually be our last battleship that I can field until I actually start losing battleships. After that, I have to start producing cruisers and destroyers and the like, if I want a bigger fleet, but I can only have a maximum of 1,600 command power, which is this number listed right here. So I could actually have 15 cruisers total, although I'm fielding quite a few battleships. Of course, this is also hostile territory, but then again, I don't really get attacks from this side, so I've been ignoring it. Probably shouldn't. Yeah, Terra's ship is still only half built. Less than half built, truth be told. I should put in for more ammo, because I'm running low, but
Affirmative.
let's
Engage
bypass
sublight.
this area for now, because I'm not confident in our current fleet power. Even though Maxton went up a level, and he's now piloting a dreadnought, which he magically acquired, because I never saw him fly back to the station and pick up a new ship.
All decks were flying through hostile space.
Gunship, Corvette. Oh, cruiser. Hang on. Where did you go? Look the ship.
Affirmative.
Alright, so we've
Entering
reached
stealth
the
mode.
hull, and every boarding action goes the same way. You go through, you hit reach the hull, you move from section to section. Each section requires a certain number of Marines to advance. You could also spend more Marines to pillage an area, which does special things. In regards to the shield generator, it turns all the shields off. Medbay actually gets you more people, and you don't need more troops to advance. Weapons control. Finally, you get to the bridge, and if you have enough Marines to take it, it'll say how many Marines you need. If you don't, you'll get a percentage. So since I don't have enough Marines, it's at 41%. And I actually managed to take this cruiser at a 41% chance. So the options we have when taking a ship through boarding action are we can salvage it for parts, which gets us a certain number of materials. We can send it to headquarters and make it ready to serve the fleet, which allows us to spend materials to turn into an AI-controlled ship. I can put it in my garage and basically I pay for however damaged it is using my personal credits. I can sell the ship and transfer the amount of credits that I get for it to my account, or I can send the hull to headquarters for research to allow construction, which basically means that they take the ship apart and allows me to build more action boarding. However, this is a cruiser, and I've been looking for a cruiser, so stick it in the garage. My ship now. Which means I no longer have to pay for a cruiser. Which means if we have to reload, I lose it, so let's save. Alright, I was worried that that wouldn't happen. I'm glad that it did. I like that it did. Oh look, there's Maxton's Dreadnought. Like his battleship. Is Terra finished being built yet? Is Terra finished being built? Is Terra's new ship finished being built yet? It's just under 3/4. Alright. Let's continue on to this place. Because we took the Orifel Foundry in a storyline mission, and I've always disliked the fact that one of our things is in a hostile-controlled space. So I've always wanted to fly up here and just basically take the area. As I said, we're going to bypass this area for now,
Fleets have finished their job.
just simply because it's got a ridiculously high military power,
Captain,
fleet power.
that ship is in trouble. Should we intervene?
What ship? Sure, I guess. It's a derelict, though. It's a gas pocket.
Initiating target scan.
Of course, that's assuming this is the ship the first officer was talking about. We do actually have combat vessels on our tail. Form of a corvette, another cruiser, corvettes and some gunships. They are actually increasing, and somebody's shooting.
Everyone to the escape pod!
Of course, that someone is now dead because he was a gunship that decided to fight a bunch of battleships. But I probably shouldn't judge. Send over more Marines. Book the ship again. Not that we're under attack right now.
Affirmative. Entering stealth mode.
Generally it goes breach hull, cargo bay, engine room, shield generator, weapons, then bridge. Somewhere along the way there's going to be the medical bay. But that seems to be variable. Also, every ship that you can fly has a certain number of boarding Marines. So yeah, this one's actually 55%, so we'll see if we can take this. And we cannot.
All hands, fire at will.
So I guess we're shooting. And now it's dead.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Alright. What's the deal with this thing again? Some random derelict out here. Alright, well, I guess we scrap it for parts. It's a randomly spawned thing. On the plus side, Terra's now done. Well, Terra's new ship is done. And, let's add yet another battleship to the queue. And that actually maxes out our super capital ship capacity. So, no more battleships. If I build any more, it's probably going to be cruisers or destroyers or something smaller. There, send the civilian fleets back out. This time we'll pay for spend ore for materials. Because the one resource I've been having issues with throughout most of these playthroughs has been materials. That's been collected. And we're also at this gas pocket because we're right here. They don't have the special equipment to actually fully maximize the potential of the gas pocket. Just out of range, okay. Cargo bay is almost full. That's interesting. Alright. Back up we go. Yeah, the XL Defense Force has just been hanging around this place. It is right next to a T-gate, but this one for some reason is listed as inactive, and I don't quite know how to get it reactivated. Or it could just be off for storyline purposes. That's also a possibility. And here we are at the target.
We're entering enemy territory.
Apparently there's a bunch of friendlies here.
Leader squadrons, you're good to go.
That one's dead.
The wide band old glitch is back out.
HQ reports one of our fleets have returned.
I got you on my side. This is no true end.
Hostile target eliminated.
Is there an enemy War Master here? An entire fleet here. Are they part of this forward outpost? Probably. So, where are my guys? Just clicked all of that. Here we are.
Multiple casualties across all decks.
Send people over for no apparent reason. And the enemy fleet's here. Okay, I don't quite know what that was, but I killed it, so I won't complain. Alright, is there somebody who isn't already on fire? Oh look, another cruiser. See what we do with this one. Cloak the ship so we don't get shot.
Shield is at half capacity.
Why we cloak the ship?
Hostile target eliminated.
I don't think we'll be taking this one on account of...
At half capacity.
we'll have less than, well, we'll have 14 Marines, and we're given a 12% chance of success.
Shield down to 20%,
And they fail.
Captain.
Okay, repair the vessel, and open fire. Let's get back within range, and then we open fire. How's about that? We're actually on fire again. And we're dead again. Interesting. Guess it's a good thing I reloaded after taking that first cruiser. Of course, Terra's new vessel hasn't been rebuilt yet. It's at 70%. So, okay, so I'm guessing this fleet showed up.
Affirmative.
And that's what we ended up fighting. Now, you know what? Let's hit their fleet first. That way we don't get caught between the forward outpost and the enemy fleet. And what the heck is all of this?
All
Well,
hands be advised. We've entered a hostile region.
no kidding. What the heck did we just fly into? That was odd. Alright, here we are at the battle. Well, here I am at the battle. Alright, so that's the War Master Dreadnought. Everybody kill him.
Launching fighter wings.
For the fighters. Everybody attack the
Enemy down.
Dreadnought.
Port shield is at half capacity.
It was actually gone. Alright, should it worry me that we're taking out their gunships and corvettes, and this paragraph to denote how well the battle's going is actually going in their favor? Look and repair the ship. Another cruiser.
This cannot be.
Oh, we lost somebody.
I'll go out with a bang.
Is everybody but Maxton dead? No, we have one extra drop. Okay. Well, that didn't work out.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Let's go here then. I guess what I shouldn't have done was have the fleet fly through the enemy fleet to attack the Dreadnought. Probably should have taken out the smaller ships first, and then focused on the Dreadnought once, well, everything else was gone.
Tactical reports of hostiles in the area. Starboard shield is at half capacity. Starboard
Okay, that's a
shield
lot of
25%
random
captain.
Dreadnoughts.
Your explosion will light the skies.
Let's say this fleet's moving off, but they're heading back this way, so hopefully we can take the forward outpost before they show up. If not, then well,
Aligning ship to
we guess we
plane.
got another fight on our hands.
We're entering enemy territory.
Deploy the
Launching fighter
fighters.
wings.
We drop out of sublight.
This is no true end. Retreat! Retreat! Momentarily, a mining beam can set us off.
And we didn't kill it in
Target is
time.
down.
Make my day for us.
Because the enemy fleet has arrived, which is why this bar just jumped into their favor right before we won. Oh well. So stop for a minute. Think about our lives. Wonder why the fighters are still attacking. More power to them. Add another battleship to the queue. Contemplate leaving, but the fleet started to engage, so I guess we're not.
It's been a hell of a ride.
Okay, so everybody just kill off the small guys. With the help of actually aimed at what I was targeting.
Almost all systems
Dreadnought,
indicate
that's a
failure.
Corvette, cruiser. Was a cruiser. It's another cruiser. That was another cruiser.
If you had any brains in the head of yours, you
That's
wouldn't
the
have done
Dreadnought.
that. Fight with honor, bruh.
Alright. Everybody fight the Dreadnought.
Hostile spotted. Make haste.
How about we get into weapons range? We should probably wait for the shield to recharge. Probably should not slam into the Dreadnought as well. How about we don't do that? And we're about to die. So, cloak. Let's get back out of range.
Fire at will. Manual targeting disengaged.
Wait for the repair thingies to, well, repair, or power, recharge, fix themselves. And it's now dead.
Target destroyed.
So this is our zone now, and we go up to level 24. And we gain an extra perk point. Okay then. Alright. So send a fleet to do repairs on the T-gate. Once done, T-gate works good as new. So this is probably why we couldn't get the T-gate up and running. So we'll send a fleet to do that. On the plus side, we didn't lose a battleship. Might have lost the destroyer in that fight, but I won't complain.
Initiating sublight.
In the meantime, let's go after this fleet. You know what? Let's recall the fighters again, and then we can go after the fleet. How's about that? actually stop so the fighters can catch up. Seriously, where are they? Where is everybody, actually? Well, somebody's arrived. Several somebodies have arrived, actually.
HQ sends word that one of our fleets have finished their task.
Oh, goody, the T-gate's now fixed, so we could actually
Course set.
jump to the T-gate. And rather than fly all the way back down here, once we get to the T-gate, as we apparently fly through it, we can jump to this T-gate. Or Torrent Gate, as the full name is.
Setting
And that
course.
pops us right out next to Concordia.
Aging sublight.
And that civilian task mysteriously disappeared. Running low on gas, actually, so I probably should stop spending gas to buy materials.
Concordia on all channels. Greetings.
Alright, so we're back home.
Our coordinates.
So we go to the dry dock, we rearm because we used a whole pile of repair bots. We sell the stuff that we picked up, and let's look at equipment. So this is what we have, this is what we can purchase. So we have, I guess those are shield boosters. Well, I thought these things would actually recharge the shields, but apparently they just simply increase... No, regenerate shields by 5,000 over 10 seconds. So. Yeah, they do recharge the shields. So we'll go with a bunch of these. I'll buy all of them, I guess. And if we look at the garage, that's our new cruiser. And if we compare it to what we currently have, it's got over twice the amount of hull. I wouldn't say double cargo space, but it's definitely more. I don't believe it'll tell me how many Marines it carries, but it has twice the number of forward turrets, same amount of ammo capacity for the forward heavy battery as well as for the sides. One more turret on the port and starboard sides, no heavy battery on the back, and one less light battery turret on the back. So the Revenant ships have more firepower towards the front, whereas the Solari ships are more omnidirectional, I want to say. And Grappler's the same. Can still fly one ship, well, one wing of fighters, have shields and sensors and propulsion. Transporter's the same, so all that fun stuff. Right. So there's that. Got perks. We actually go with Negotiation 2. It increases the chance to capture ships and raid enemy structures. Now, one thing that I should be focusing on would be the Savvy Chief perks, which improves boarding proficiency, so it doesn't cost me as many Marines to proceed on to various areas. But unlike all these other perks where I just expend a perk point to get them, I actually have to do hit certain achievements to get the Savvy Chief perks. So for Savvy Chief 1, I need to capture 3 ships and get 15 pillage points. For Chief 2, I need to capture 12 and get 50 pillage points, of which I have 22 ships captured and 20 pillage points. And you get pillage points by rating the various parts on the ship. So a cargo bay is worth 1 point, engine room 2, shield generator 3, weapons control 3, so forth and so on. Actually, I'm not certain why I said so forth and so on, because that's, well, everything. I don't often raid ships because if I send Marines over, I want the ship intact, and pillaging the various compartments uses more Marines than just simply moving on. And the more Marines you use getting to the bridge, the less you have at the bridge, so less likely of a chance you'll actually get what you want, you'll be able to take it as easily. So we'll just have this fleet merge with the Honor Armada. Now, one thing I question. Why am I still carrying plasma rifles? Where's my cargo? Apparently I don't have any cargo, so why is it telling me that plasma rifles are illegal? Also, apparently I have a damage amplifier that I don't really use. Oh well. And we get one more battleship, actually, so... merge with this fleet. Have the fleet follow us. Random battleship. That's Tara Higgs's battleship. So Nika, now that she's 24, is also piloting a dreadnought. Because Tara got taken out earlier, she isn't 24 yet, so she's still piloting a battleship. And then that's Maxon's battleship, I mean dreadnought, which she's had for a while, so we'll be going up in level. So the last ship is merged, so let's head back through the T-gate.
Engaging sublight. Adjusting ship rotation.
And we'll jump back through to Warfel. And from there,
Engaging sublight.
we hit here. Actually, what is this? 18,000 and change. Right, so I'm going to assume that that thunking sound wasn't us hitting the T-gate. Oh look! An enemy fleet. I'm assuming making a beeline for this forward outpost. Gunships. We flew past them, so I don't actually know. But let's intercept this fleet real quick. They're about to have a bad day. Let's deploy troops onto this Corvette. And we'll just pillage as much as we can. So if we pillage the cargo bay, it gets us, well, extra cargo. We pillage the engine room, it stops flying. Oh, and pillage doesn't allow us to move forward, it just simply uses up Marines.
Target eliminated.
Medbay gets us more troops.
HQ sends word that one of our fleets.
So
has
it's the
finished
shield
their task.
generator, and we're actually out of range now because we're flying away from it. But that should have gotten us extra pillage points. And the target now is full biometric screen shielding, so we can't actually
Is that you, Fluffy?
transport over to it, but it's dead now, so it doesn't matter. They never fully explain what happens to the Marines if we go out of range. I mean, I'm assuming they're still stuck on the ship. And here we go, let's cloak.
You've caught my attention. Now there's no escape.
There's the cargo bay. Move on. Plug the cargo. Plug the engine room. Plug more cargo. Move on. Yeah, see, this is what I don't like. You pillage so much stuff and uses so many Marines, you can't actually proceed. So there's a 40% chance of pillaging the shield generator. And they failed to pillage the room because there aren't enough Marines. Kill it. Oh look, another cruiser.
No more. Start the engine.
Was a cruiser. Moving on.
Initiating sublight.
Fleet to survey that. I'm going to pretend we didn't fly into something. Have a fleet survey that. Have a fleet do junkyard salvage. More junkyard salvage, and I'm out of civilian fleets again. And here we go.
We may be stationary, but we're sure as hell reactionary.
So we'll actually pull this gunship because it's smaller, so it shouldn't take as many Marines to basically cut through the thing.
So long, and thanks for all the ships.
We're taking heavy damage.
Of course, I do need to pay attention to the actual battle. Alright, we no longer have enough Marines to pillage the weapons control, so we're just going to make that attempt. And they failed to pillage the room, so
Target is down.
I'm just going to shoot it. That's gone. Oh look, a cruiser.
We'll drink some hogwash in heaven.
Quite know what happened to the background music, but we boost the shields. Cruiser's dead, so move on to another one. Launch the fighters before I forget.
Time to die, Delta.
That cruiser's gone. There's yet another cruiser.
Not today, Sura.
That can't be your best, can it?
Alright, that cruiser's dead. That's a freighter. Another freighter, another freighter. That's two freighters. Okay. And a bunch of platforms.
HQ sends word that one of our fleets have finished their task.
Oh, goody. Go down so we can actually shoot things. Dead. There's the next platform. Apparently right there. Okay. Energize the shields.
Initiated.
Stop the
Port
ship
shield
so
is
we
at
can
half
actually
capacity.
see what we're shooting at. Get it moving so that way we're not a stationary target again.
25% capacity.
And now it's dead. Moving right along.
Front shield is at 50%.
Shields. There's that shield generator. There's that platform. Maybe we should actually target the things that are shooting back at us. Wouldn't that be fun? And we've captured the zone. And Tara Higgs has gone up a level, as has Nika. And Leonard Maxton. So, if I did the math right... Yeah, no, Tara Higgs is still in Orion. We now have 3 battleships, so we actually lost 1 battleship. I wonder if Higgs won't upgrade to a dreadnought because we don't have the ability to build dreadnoughts. So we'll add that battleship to the queue. Not enough civilian fleets to do anything.
Engaging sublight.
Let's hit this bounty. Have this battleship follow us. And then I guess we'll see if we can take the Battle Dawn military outpost.
All day.
No, I really gotta remember to recall the fighters.
HQ reports one of our fleets have returned.
Guess we're gonna be fighting these frigates.
We're severely damaged.
And that's another cruiser.
You've
Okay,
come to the wrong neighborhood, Burra.
so they tell me. You know, my ship isn't the one exploding this time. Of course, we are damaged, so.
Initiating sublight.
You know, from pirate-controlled territory, how is it plasma rifles are illegal? Actually, we're not in pirate-controlled territory, we're actually in our territory. And we've located
Port shield is at
a destroyer.
capacity.
And of course we can't beam people over, but let's turn around so that way we have non-damaged shields facing the target. And we'll just open fire. About to have a rather bad day, truth be told. It's 1 destroyer versus another destroyer and 4 battleships and 2
Hull
dreadnoughts?
is taking damage.
What did I say about having fresh shields on? I think, oh, and Terra went up yet another level. As did Maxton. Although we did lose 1 battleship somehow. Because we're back down to 4 super catapult ships being, points being used. So we'll just pop on another battleship onto the queue. course, the new battleship has arrived, so... Oops.
Initiating sublight.
The fleet follows me, and I go after the thing. So we'll hit this fleet, so that way there's no surprises when we hit the Battle Dawn military thingy. Military station. Which has ridiculously high approximate fleet power, so... I'm actually kind of worried that we may not be able to take it.
We're entering enemy territory.
No, we've been in enemy territory. Where have you been? Of course, we have some friendlies fighting. Or allies, I should say. But you know what? If we take the Battle Dawn Center, they shouldn't need to fight in this area anymore because, well, it would be ours. Alright, so now that all the civilian fleets are back out, let's send... Well, back in. We should send them back out. Where else I want them to go? Sell ore for materials, I guess. Here's the one thing we got plenty of, and we have now started a battle. So once again, pillage everything that we can on this Taurus, because this is targets, so I'm not looking at it for that. Boost the shields, and heal and cloak. As close the engine room. All that's apparently left is this Taurus. The only reason why it's still alive is because I have Marines aboard it. And friendly ships won't attack a ship with friendly Marines. Yeah, cut its weapons. First, we only have 3 Marines, so we can't move on, but that's a moot point, so... Kill it now! We weren't planning on it.
Target is down. All weapons fire at will.
Alright, so much for that fleet. You know what? Let's actually save. Oh, unused perk points. That's 5, that's 5, that's 4. Of course, yeah, upgrade that. So now everything should be at 5, so the next upgrade goes to the cloak. And no unused perk points. Okay. Alright, so any unintended surprises? No? Okay, good. It's still relatively intact.
Initiating sublight.
Alright, off to the Battle Dawn station.
Acquiring planar coordinates.
Alright, deploy fighter. That's freighters dead. Probably shouldn't be targeting freighters first, but I guess they're closest. Why are their freighters closest? Should be fighting the gunships. The cruisers. Shields. Now these things do have hotkey points. Oh look, a dreadnought. Kill that. Repair the vessel. Cut loose.
We're going down.
Feel free to shoot the dreadnought. Give shields a minute to recharge. And it looks like we're actually out of most heavy weapons.
Priming
Okay then.
weapons.
Nope, still got a few missiles left. But actually out of range for most of the weapons. And shields are gone. Again. Disable that. Fire off the last of the fusion torps. Try not to get hit on the shieldless side.
All stations. Reach.
I ask why the destroyer is fighting the dreadnought. Oh good, resources have been exchanged. Let's actually turn towards it. How's about that? Of course, now the dreadnought's dead, so, moot point. Guess all that's left is a bunch of platforms and whoever these things are. Reboost the shields again. This is the rest of the defensive force.
If you hadn't brain that head of yours, you wouldn't have done that.
That's one down. That's another. Cloak the ship, because we're suddenly under attack by everything.
Engaging automated protocols. All weapons on auto mode.
You won't take us alive.
Yeah, that one's dead.
Is that you, Fluffy?
Let's get the shields recharged. Let's actually not run away from battle. Does kind of send a bad message to the troops, but then again, I am technically in the smallest ship on our side, so I'll have to point out the destroyer is the one charging ahead. What I assume would be a big old rare gun shot just hit that cruiser.
Target neutralized.
That cruiser's dead. Guess all that's left is the platforms. Let's not slam into our own battleship, please. Yup. And, let's target the actual gun platforms. Then we can hit the shield generators. How about that? Wouldn't that be fun? No, that's actually the shield generator. That's the attack platform that just blew up. That's the actual station.
Front shield is at 50%.
Now, I just bought all these, and I'm about halfway through them all. So that means I should have gotten the bigger ones. Which, you know, could also mean that I've been blowing through them quite a bit. On account of the shields keep failing.
Starboard shield has 25%, Captain.
That one's gone. How many more we got left? That should be it for the heavy weapons.
Shields are back online.
I think that's actually it for the heavy weapons. I'm actually out. Although on the plus side, there seems to be only like 4 platforms left, so...
Energy shields reinitialized.
Get the shields back up.
Heavy battery ammo is depleted.
Okay, now we're out of heavy ammo. For strange reason, there's no reverse in this game. I don't understand. Oh well. Planes are refueling.
Starboard shield has a 25%, Captain. Shield is at half capacity.
And we've captured the zone.
Shield is at 50%.
So look at this anomaly, but that's actually a wormhole. And
Reinitializing
Higgs and
shields.
Maxton have leveled up again, as have I. And we've taken this area. And you know what? I feel the need to construct a T-gate. And also, we lost no battleships, because we're still at 5 super capital ship points. And the last battleship is almost finished. And we can call the fighters, because I keep forgetting to do so. And we can also dock at this station, because it's dockable. Interesting motif. Not quite certain how the running plumes of molten metal work in a zero-G environment, but probably shouldn't complain. Just sell everything we picked up. Is there any more medium shield boosters? So just buy all of them. Those medium repair drones. We're back down to 10 million and change. We'll get dry dock. We can repair, well, rearm and repair. And the shipyard has a bunch of Outlands manufactured vessels like the Valkyrie, the Valnir, the Midgard Freighter, the Tyr Destroyer, the Fenrir Cruiser, the Odin class battleship, which we don't have enough money to buy, the Hemmingdall Freightliner, which we don't have enough money to buy, and the Asgard Carrier, which we do not have enough money to buy. We also aren't at a high enough level. Although we are high enough level to pilot a battleship. Alright, so for the spare perk point, you know what, let's actually get the Trickster one because it reduces equipment cooldown by 33%, and I've been using a lot of equipment as of late. Mostly hull repair kits and shield boosters. So there's all that.
Good to go. See you again.
We're good to go. So all that's left of the Revenants is this area, which I haven't had a chance to explore yet, so I don't know where the control area for this region is. The last of the battleships are done, so we'll just put in a cruiser.
Course adjusted. Affirmative. Engage sublight.
You know what, let's take... Okay, this was supposed to be a T-gate. It's a T-gate, it's just the game hasn't updated the graphics yet, so... We'll exit through here, simply because I don't feel like flying all the way down.
Affirmative. Changing course. Affirmative. Engage sublight.
And Tara Higgs is no longer piloting a
Concordia eludes you, Captain.
battleship. Used to be her Orion, now it's the Borealis.
Course adjusted. Engaging sublight. HQ sends word that one of our fleets have finished their task. Adjusting access elevation.
Concordia on all channels. Greetings.
Alright, so I could build more cruisers, but let's actually upgrade Concordia itself. No, that's shipbuilding. I want construction. So I can upgrade the hub to, well, get level 3 modules. There. Upgrade the tactical ops to increase the fleet power, which means we can now field more vessels. Upgrade the mining ops. Upgrade the salvage depot. And we actually burned through most of our war.
Take care as you take your lead.
Alright, so there's Terra. So that's the Solarius Dreadnought. Interesting. Alright, so that was eventful. On that note, I shall call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague and have a good day.